Welcome, believers. Welcome, conspiracy theorists. Welcome to UFO, aliens, and weird stuff. Now, as you know, we are concentrating on the map of weirdness, and I want to tell you a story, right? Now, in the heart of London's wealthy Mayfair district, overlooking the elegant trees of Berkeley Square, stands a townhouse with a reputation so terrifying that for decades people refused to spend a single night inside. Now, I know I'm a major UFO buff, right? And this originally started as a UK UFO hotspot map. And I'm still doing it, obviously. But I thought as well, I'd start adding weird stuff, right? So we've did Bawley Rectory last week, right? So today we are going to do number 50 Berkeley Square. And it's a fantastic story. Now, guys, sorry, paranormal investigators, guys, girls, and whatever, right? I am a massive fan of you. I would never do it myself. So I'm going to talk about number 50 Berkeley Square. But if you know any more details, please drop me a line in the comments. That will be fantastic. Now, apparently, this is a building once whispered about as the most haunted house in London. Visitors claim something lived in the attic, something that drove men insane with terror. And according to the legend, at least one man died after seeing it. Now, tonight, we explore the chilling history of 50 Berkeley Square. Now, was it truly haunted? Or did something far darker unfold behind those Victorian walls? Was it murder? Was it? Right? Now, a house with a terrible reputation. Remember, this was set in Victorian streets. Right? Now, in the mid 1800s, Berkeley Square was one of London's most prestigious addresses. It was an elegant townhouse. Aristocrats, politicians, and wealthy families called the area home. But number 50 slowly gained a reputation. So, servants whispered about unexplained noises coming from the top floor. Lights were said to appear in the attic, even when no one was upstairs. And those who tried to sleep in the attic bedroom reported something far worse, an overwhelming feeling of dread. Now, some said there was a dark shape moving in the shadows. Others claimed that the air itself felt heavy, as if something unforeseen was watching them. Now, before long, the room became known as the death room. Now, if you've ever been in a B&B, and I'm sure you had, if I ever went to a B&B and there was a death room, I wouldn't stay there, right? Now, one of the earliest legends claimed that the haunting came from a murderous monk. Now, according to the story, centuries earlier, a monk had committed a terrible crime, and overcome with guilt, he fled to the house and hid in the attic, where well, not sadly, because he was murderous. There, he died alone. Now, apparently, his spirit is trapped between worlds and is said to wander the attic room, waiting, watching for people who stay the night. But another story would soon make the house infamous across all of London. Now, they call this the Sailors' Challenge, and it happened in 1872. So I would imagine a young nobleman named Lord Lytton and his friend was discussing the haunted house. Among them was a young naval officer, a Robert Warboys. Now, being young, Warboys dismissed the ghost story as nonsense, and to prove his point, he made a bold wager. Now, he said he would spend the night in the attic bedroom of 50 Berkeley Square on his own, right? On his own. And if anything happened, and he doubted it very much, he would ring a bell rope connected to the servants' quarters downstairs. But just in case, he brought a pistol with him. I don't know what the pistol's going to do if it's haunted, right? So imagine the clock's ticking, midnight approaches, right? War boys climb the narrow staircase to the attic, and then the door closed behind him. Now downstairs, his friends waited. Right? They were listening to see if anything weird was happening. Basically, just watching the clock. Right, and as they did so, then the bell started ringing, right? It just started ringing. I mean, if you can imagine a bell, because you get the sense, right? It was wildly, desperately ringing, right? Now, Warboy's friends rushed upstairs, but when they burst into the room, they found him collapsed on the floor. His pistol has also been fired as well. What was he firing at, right? But whatever he aimed at, it was gone, right? So he was on his own. The look on his face apparently was just pure terror. Whatever he saw scared him. Now, some versions of the story claim he died instantly. Others say he lived but was never the same again. And paranormal investigators, because obviously I'm no expert, if you know the story better, did he die or did he live? Let me know. Drop me a line in the comments if you can. But what did he see? Right? What made him fire his pistol? Now, over time, witnesses began describing the same terrifying vision. Apparently, a shapeless brown creature lurking in the darkness. Some said it crawled across the floor. Now, others claimed it had glowing eyes. Maybe it did. Maybe it had glowing eyes and crawled across the floor, right? But the most chilling detail was this, right? Anyone who saw it was struck by an overwhelming wave of pure terror, as if the human mind simply could not process what it was seeing. Now, what do you think? Was it a ghost? Was it a demon? Or something else entirely? Right? What do you think about it? You know, now obviously there is rational explanations. So, years later, investigators looked into the legend and some possible explanations emerged, right? Now, the house had fallen into disrepair. Broken shutters allowed shadows to move strangely in candlelight, but not enough for a Navy man to fire his gun. Large rats were known to infest the attic, but if you lived in Victorian Britain, there were rats everywhere. You would know a rat if you saw one. Now, the creak and Victorian timbers made the entire house groan at night, but you would recognise that as well. But there was another factor. It's right. Victorian London had become fascinated with ghost stories. Newspapers loved sensational tales. And once the legend of 50 Berkeley Square began, the story may have grown far beyond the truth. The media, right? If they're not lying, they're exaggerating. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think? What do you think of the story? Now, today, the building still stands quietly in Mayfair, looking as elegant as ever. All right, but basically just an ordinary house. Thousands of people walk past it every year, never realising the terrifying stories attached to its walls. Now, the attic room that once frightened London society is now just another office space. But of course, the legend remains because I'm telling you the story now. So, what do you think? No one can say for certain what Robert Warboy saw that night, or why he fired his pistol. What's more important, isn't it? Why did he fire his pistol? Now, was 50 Berkeley Square truly haunted? Did something unnatural lurk in the attic room? Or was the entire story the product of fear and imagination, basically fueled by Victorian storytelling? Well, let me know what you think in the comments, especially the paranormal investigators, because like I say, you are brave. There is no way I would approach these buildings during the day. Talk about at night. But look, if you enjoy stories about UFO, aliens and the weird stuff, then please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll catch the updates on the map. So thanks ever so much and I'll catch you on the next one.